What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a reveal of the new uh, world premiere archetype coming out in the Supreme Darkness, which is the next set. And I actually think it looks really good. So I guess I'm turning into the world premiere guy rather than just the Mimigal guy. I think I'm gonna try this when it comes out. Yeah, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 7 new cards, which is actually pretty good for a first wave. And actually, I think they're all playable. Like, I don't think you wouldn't play any of these. He's close, but he's good. So like for the main deck guys, this guy, their names are so hard to say. I'm gonna pronounce the archetype name one time and never again. Mitsurugi no Mikado. I think that's for all of them. Oh, I guess the rituals are different names, but we're gonna ignore the names. So we're just gonna call this Red. So Red, when he's summoned, can search for any spell trap for the archetype. When he's summoned anyway, or if he's tributed, it's a ritual archetype, so it's really good they have these effects. And then these guys share the effect of if they have another one of their archetype, if another reptile actually would be destroyed by battle or card effect, they can just tribute themselves instead, which is really good because it'll just trigger their effects again. I can't do this for something like a Raigeki because it would be affecting these two. But you know, how often do you see a Raigeki now? Now that Empai is pretty much out of the meta. And then we got this guy, Purple, I guess we can call him. Same summoning, not summoning, same trigger for his effect. He can target a card in the archetype and from the graveyard or banishment and then add to hand. So pretty good. I wouldn't play more than 2 of this. It's definitely not a 3 of. It doesn't get you anywhere. And then the rituals, these guys are actually really good, which I'm very surprised about. I've never played a ritual archetype, so this is going to be my first time actually doing it. This one's the good one down here. I call it the Hydra. But when it's summoned, it's a Raigeki, which is super good. Prank Kids became meta because their dude was a double Raigeki. So this one having multiple effects should be just as good, I would assume. But that also has this nice other effect of when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can activate this. Your opponent either has to discard one to negate it, negate this effect, or their effect is negated. So it's really good. It makes your opponent's card become a neg-1 inherently, unless they just don't want it to resolve, in which case that's good. Like if you already have them down to no cards, this card just goes brazy. And then if it's tributed, you get to add a card for the archetype, and then special itself back out if it was properly summoned. So it's actually really good, because then when it comes back out, you get to do the Raigeki. So this becomes a really good interruption throughout the turn. Then we got this guy. I don't even know what to call this. I never summoned it, so I never came up with a name for it. I don't know, Big Fire Dude. This one's not nearly as good, but it has the same effect when it's tributed, to be able to search any card and then special itself out, if it was properly summoned, obviously. That's how rituals work. But for this one, it doesn't have an on-summon effect. It's just if your opponent special summons a monster, you can target a reptile in your graveyard, except this card, another one of this card, and special summon it. So it's not nearly as good, not as versatile. Like this would not be on your end board, typically. This is basically just here to get the tribute effect for a free search. That's like the main idea of it. And then we have this card. It's their Rhoda. That card's actually insane. So it's a quick effect, so already a good Rhoda. But you can use one of these 2 effects. Either add a monster for the archetype to hand, or take 800 and special a monster from the archetype from your hand or graveyard. It can't attack directly, but that shouldn't matter. Unless you're going for game. In either case, by the time, it's not going to come up, I promise. But if you tribute a reptile monster to activate this card, and you can tribute it from hand or field, it's very important. You can do both the effects in sequence. So that's really good, because then you can tribute, like if you have this plus a ritual in hand, you can just activate this, tribute the ritual. And if they ash this, you're going to get a Rhoda from your ritual guys. That's really good. Or if like you're in battle phase, So you attack with this guy, blah blah, and then you activate this, tribute this guy, get your surge special out another one. Obviously, they can't attack directly, but then this guy will trigger, search again, revive itself, Raigeki their board, attack again, and it's 3,200. So likely you're just gonna kill him. So this card is insane. And then they also have their own ritual spell, which is obvious. It's a ritual archetype. I guess, what was the last TG exclusive ritual? Oh, the MBTs. Geek Boy. Libromancers, they don't have a ritual spell. Or at least they didn't originally, it's a field spell. Which is kind of what I wish they had done. But this ritual spell is insane. I almost put this at the same level as the Drytron ritual spell. It's just so good. So you can either ritual summon one. It can ritual summon any reptile ritual monster, but currently these are the only 2 ones ever printed. Reptiles just do not get any love from Konami. So you can ritual summon any reptile monster, and you can either, if it's in your hand, the ritual monster, you can tribute you can tribute reptiles from your hand, field, or deck that equal the exact amount. It has to be either 2 or less, but it has to equal exactly 8 for these guys. So you could tribute both of these guys and get it, or you could tribute one of these guys. But it's just like a branded fusion for rituals. It's so good. Otherwise, if you don't have a ritual monster in hand, you can tribute reptiles on the field or hand, and then ritual from deck. That's not nearly as good, but it's so good. I love this card with all my being. Like, if they ever get on the next wave, if they get like a level 4 ritual monster, this card is going to be so broken. Oh, I'm so excited for it. And then they also got a trap. Typically traps aren't that great, but this one actually I think is so good. So it has 2 effects. One on field. You contribute a level 5 or higher ritual monster, negate the effect of anything. So when your opponent activates card or effect, tribute a level 5 or higher ritual reptile. Why did they pick the 2 R's? Negate the effect, and if you destroy that card. So that's going to trigger both of these guys, whichever one you have on field. Hopefully not this guy. So you're going to trigger that, get your search, summon out Raigeki. So good. On top of the negate. Or in the graveyard, you can only use one of these effects per turn, which kind of sucks, but both these effects are so good. So in the graveyard, you can banish this card, target any reptile monster in the graveyard, and special summon it. And if you do, tribute one other monster you control. It doesn't even have to be a reptile. It can just be anything. So a lot of times what I like doing is discarding this card and then just using it as a quick special summon of this guy. And then you can dodge like an imperm on one of your other guys that you're trying to get to resolve. Oh, the applications of this card are so good. Yeah, that's all the new cards. Honestly, amazing first wave. Not even a single miss. Even Mimigul had a few misses. Did they? I guess Master. Yeah, Master would have been like the miss in the first wave. But this one I just think is all heat. I guess this would be like the Master of the archetype, like just something you don't want to see. In your opening hand, you want to have it in there, just to have, because the utility of it's so good. Yeah, gosh. I am so excited for what this deck has in store for it. Sadly, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be like this anyways. But there's no one card starter. Like, this would be like the closest thing you have to it. It gets you absolutely nowhere. This can just search a spell or trap. So you could search your prayers, search another guy. Where does it get you? Nowhere. Yeah, you could tribute, search, and special. So tribute this guy, search out this guy, special summon it, get the effect, grab back the prayers, I guess, and then set the prayers. But that'd be basically the same thing as just normal summoning this guy, searching prayers and setting it. It just doesn't get you anywhere. Which I think that's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be. Like, no one card should be going crazy. I do at least wish, like, you could put up like an okay board if like this is your only engine you see. Like if you had 4 hand traps plus this card, I'd kind of hope that you'd be able to get somewhere. Like maybe even just like an IP plus a guy pass. Like just something like that, like nothing crazy. But I guess at that point you could always just go Fiendsmith combo if any card gets you 2 cards. Which is just poor design on Konami. Well, whatever. But yeah, it needs something. Like it's a bunch of 2-card combos, so it needs something to go with it. And the best thing I could think of to go with it right now, my buddy was talking about playing it in like Drytron, because I don't know the reason honestly, but just because these cards are so good when they get tributed off. Which I don't know how that works because I'm pretty sure that the Medionis needs to tribute machines, if I remember correctly. Some of the ritual monster in my hand, you must also tribute machine monsters. I guess he wants to summon these more than anything. But I think they're better when they're getting tributed off. So I don't know. Like another ritual engine could be really good. Like you could like somewhat put this in voice list. It doesn't really work very well because they're not lights or dragons. So I was also thinking like King of the Feral Imps is so good in this deck that a Ryzel engine might also be good. Because you could just normal summon out Sanji, get the search for the ritual, any Ryzel name, blah blah, overlay for imps, search out one of the rituals, and then go off from there. So that was something I was testing before. I just started doing this after I got off work because I was just so excited for these cards. But what I think the best way to do is, because you don't want to get locked in anything at this point, I think the best engine you can play is the Sinful Spoil package, because Deception, for some odd reason, doesn't say send a monster to search. It says tribute a monster, so it'll trigger all these guys. It is so good. And you also get the negate put up on where's his name? Silva, to really insulate your plays. So I think that's the way to go. That's what I'm going to be testing. I just bought my Deceptions because I'm actually really excited for this. I'm gonna play it at locals at minimum. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. They also have this new Azamina card coming out, which you can search with Deception and this guy. This card's really cool because if it's used as synchro, it can reveal itself in hand, summon any White Forest or Azamina card, any monster from your hand. So that's really good because it can just summon itself, which is really nice. And then when it's used for synchro material, you can add a what is it? I think it's a Sinful Spoil. Yeah, add one Sinful Spoil card from your deck to your hand. Which are like, how's that going to come up? It's not a tuner, and none of these guys are tuners. Well, Chaos Angel doesn't care about that, so this card, plus either of these guys, can just make an unaffected Chaos Angel, and all your guys can't be beat over anymore. So it just makes your board so sticky. And like you can search anything, if you want to put a few more bricks in. Like you could search, where's the good one? This one's pretty decent. It doesn't require you to have any of the guys up. By any of the guys, I mean Diabellstar the Black Witch. And it's just, if you can target a special summon monster in the field, change it to face down defense position. And that's really good. I think it also has a bonus effect. If you control level 5 or higher illusion monster, roll those cards in your graveyard, set this card, vanish it. Yeah, so it can reset itself if your dude survives, your Silva survives. So that's going to be really good. I mean, even if it doesn't survive, this thing right now, like my build, because I don't want to play the extra brick, it's just searching an extra Deception or another one-in. So if this, if you have to use your Silva, you can just put it back with the Azamina hollowed, and then summon out again, and then get this back. So it's really good. You can also just do like Silvera, but like you need to have a Diabellstar somewhere to discard, so it's not the best. This card is kind of okay. It's actually kind of neat. Just that this is also a new one. This is turned into a ramble session. It just says if you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster, which your Silva is, and your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, target up 3 cards they control and return them to hand. So it's just a big old compulse. So nice. I haven't tested with it yet. But I think this might be a good option as well. But honestly, from the board you put up, without getting interrupted, I don't think this is ever going to happen. You're just going to be stopping them left and right. This also has a bonus effect. All these cards do, which is so nice. If you control a 5 or illusion monster and this card in the grave, you can set this card. Oh, it has the same exact effect. So yeah, these are just really good cards. Like my normal combo, how I like to do it, revolves completely around the cross sheet. Being able to revive off of a fusion pointing to it, and you're also playing a ritual deck, so sometimes you can get both the draw 2, discard 2, plus the special summon. Oh my gosh, at that point, it's just GG's. You're just drawing into hand trap after hand trap after hand trap on top of your board. It's just nuts. I also like to end off on this guy. This is the Ragnarika link form. It just requires any 2 monsters, but you have to include a reptile, plant, or insect. You guys are all reptiles, so you can do this. And it has a trigger effect that if your opponent activates the monster effect, you can activate this. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters in the hand for the rest of this turn. So, like, depending on the deck, this can, like say you're playing against Mimigul. This just completely turns off their hand effects. I mean, you can't hand trap them, but, like, you're going to hand trap them and then use this. And then hopefully this just, like, seals the deal on top of your Raigeki. Sometimes you have this Chaos Angel. And sometimes you just end on, like, SP and Chaos Angel. That's how I did it the other time. So it's really good. But normally you're drawing 2 cards at minimum. If you're hitting the cross sheet draw 2. You do that through the Lizardos. This card is just coming up everywhere now. So not many people know this, but if it banishes a reptile monster for its effect, you get a draw card. And then you're also getting your draw 1 off of the 1-in effect, putting back a deception. So you're getting a draw 2 on top of your board. So it's just really good. Like, normally what I want to end on is either the Trap and Grave or the Prayers just set so it can revive this dude if I need to get rid of it for, like, the Chaos Angel. And that's how that works. So yeah, I'm going to put a replay at the end of this. I'm not going to talk over it. I'm just going to let you guys see what's going on. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe. All right. Peace out, everybody.